Hi guys, and welcome back. And today we get on with building a couple of additional figures for the Slava Ukraini diorama, Jacob and Alexander. So before we get started, and to quote Will Smith, it's been a minute, but I haven't slapped anyone violently in public during that time. I just thought I'd give a bit of an explanation to assuage my guilt for why it's been so long since I put up the last video. It's been quite a long time. And that is because pretty much just after I finished making and painting these two figures and was in the throes of doing the editing and the audio, we decided to buy a block of land and sell our current house. And that's meant using all my modelling skills of airbrushing and painting and using filler on a one-to-one scale throughout the existing house, getting it ready for sale. So almost all my free time has been packing stuff and putting it into storage and then filling holes in walls and sanding and then undercoating and then painting, and literally haven't had time to scratch any part of my anatomy while that's been going on. Parallel to that, we've been obviously sitting down with builders doing design and planning for the new house, and had to find a rental property amongst all that and do a move from the old house so we could get all our shit out of it, 23 years of accumulated crap, and clear the decks so we could do the fixing up, getting it ready for sale. So it's been heckers, to say the very least, and it's left me feeling really uncomfortable that I haven't had any time on the bench at all, and it's really helped me to understand how much benefit I get from spending time at the bench just as a form of relaxation and a way to clear my mind. So work's been very, very busy, and private life's been very, very busy, and hobby time has been non-existent. So it's altogether been very challenging last couple of months. So anyway, I literally took today off so I could do the audio for this and get it finished, because it's just been playing on my mind for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So hopefully you enjoy it. And I guess the other exciting thing is with building the new house, which is probably still 12 months away or more from even beginning, get to custom design my man cave, the hobby room. So looking forward to that, and we'll share some of my planning with you guys over the next little while, because I haven't got any place in the rental to do hobby, so I'm pretty much restricted to what I can do on the laptop. I might try and find a corner of the kitchen table if I can convince she who must be obeyed to grant me a lease, and I might do a little bit of 28mm figure painting, but other than that I don't think I've got much capacity. But would really value your input into the planning of the hobby room, because I get one chance to get it right, and I want it to be as good as it can be. Anyway, with that ramble over, let's get on with the show. So for the first figure, we'll be using Trumpeter's 35th scale PMC in our ARC 2005 and zooming in on this guy and largely using the parts for him to customize the figure with a little bit of use of the X-Acto knife and some filler. So we'll have a look at the plastic, and very happy actually. The figure moulding is really clean. No flash to be seen well, not much flash to be seen. Face is, nice, sort of Tamiya standard. Overall details are pretty good. Lots of options in terms of stowage and backpacks and weaponry, some goggles, and a good choice of different types of firearms. So overall, pretty happy, and looking forward to getting stuck into it. So on with the build and the traditional cutting of the first pieces, starting with the legs, and just a little bit of cleanup required where the sprues join, but again, as I said earlier, not much in the way of flash, and as I am prone to do, I will like to stick a piece of wire in his heel, so it gives me something to hang on to during the latter stages for painting, and also a little peg that I can then stick into the diorama base to fix the figure a little more securely. Typically I like to go in through the heel because there's a bit more meat there, or if that can't be done, then I have to go into a far more delicate area of the anatomy, which we try and avoid. Plastic kit, so Tamiya extra thin is the choice of glue. It goes together pretty well. There's a few little gaps, as you would expect. Now, the pose of this guy naturally is a little bit more thrust forward than I would have liked. I want him to be a little bit more upright because he's not sort of charging into action. He's taking a more of a leisurely walk. So let's see what's going on here. Just taking a little bit off the back of the waist so I can straighten him up a little bit. I don't want to take all his arse away, otherwise he'll be arseless. So then just a matter of getting some super glue in there to strengthen the bond. A little bit of kicker. I'll blow that off with the airbrush. And then start putting my new favourite filler, which is ridiculous, but it's just hardware store wood filler. But I like the way it handles. It's water soluble, so you can clean up really, really easily. So I'm going to do a little bit of cannibalizing. I'll definitely use his legs and his torso. Don't think I'll use that arm. Probably will use that left arm. I think I'll use the right arm of this dude over here. And then the head, I'm not sure. We'll figure that out as we go along. So into the bit of the gluing. And of course, when you're modifying figures, you might have a bit of an idea in your head what it looks like. But then you have to adjust to how the two bits fit together and make some concessions. Now, this has got a few gaps in it, but overall happy with the posture and the position that I want him in for the dio. Now, I have been known to go down rabbit holes before, and sometimes wildly unnecessary rabbit holes, and this is potentially one of those. I decided to do a little bit of webbing and belt buckles and the like, and I think this is part of the therapeutic nature of the hobby for me. I mean, there's really no need to do this in practical sense because I can't really see it anyway unless I've got my 8 times magnifying glasses on. But I like the challenge of putting them together. So anyway, made some webbing and some unnecessary belt buckles and wrapped those around. Overall, just a slow process. You got to take your time, super glue, give it a chance to. You don't try and do it all at once. And this is where I'm talking about rabbit hole. Like, who does belt buckles that you can actually thread? There's no point for that. And then I pulled it too tight, and the fat bastard blew out on the other side, and I had to fix it. So anyway, unnecessary but enjoyable, and you can see it vaguely when it's all finished. So whacking some packs on, and then the crossover webbing there. I don't know if any of this is technically correct, and you know me, I actually don't care. I enjoy the process, and for theatrical value, I think it looks pretty good. So on with the painting, and gone for sort of a mix and match approach for equipment, and I guess it's a bit thrown together, which should be, I think, atypical of the situation of volunteers who have gone over from other countries. There might be a wild mix of equipment and equipment they can pick up there. So anyway, you see what I'm doing. Nothing rocket science about this. Give you some light blues music, and I'll be back. Now, it was at this point that I realised that I had been talking into a microphone that was not plugged into my computer, so I apologise for the audio up to this point, which I think is pretty scratchy. I haven't played it back yet, but I'm going to guess it's pretty scratchy, and should be a bit better from here on in. And in fact, when I did play it back, it was so shit that it wasn't usable, so I've had to re-record all of the audio up to this point. So hopefully it's clear and you can hear it, and it was worth the effort. On we go. So we're using a Masterbox figure here, Desert Battle Series kit number 1. So similar to the first figure that I did all those weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Again, look, Masterbox, usually pretty good and nice mouldings. Everything looks tidy. Love the face. The face looks very good. So this will be an older Ukrainian male who has also volunteered to join the fight. Looking forward to painting this guy up because I've got some ideas about his homemade or home-supplied uniform that I think might be pretty cool. So all the normal gluing and filling and sanding to get it to the point where it's ready to paint. So Alex is a local, an older gent, and a little bit more thrown together in terms of the uniform and the equipment. And really, I just had a little bit of fun playing with this and playing with a couple of approaches to do his camouflage jacket. So again, nothing really spectacular in terms of explanation. I think you can figure it all out. So again, I'll leave you with a bit of music and we can see what happens. So after I finished spitting paint on his upper torso, cleaned that up a little bit, got the detail of the straps and the pouches and the like, and then on with the face. I went for the greyish beard, which I was pretty happy with how that came out, and I think the skin tones are relatively good. And then the devil in the detail, which is the eyes. So again, I've talked about this before. I get the whites in, and I'm not that fussed about staying within the moulding because you can always come back with the flesh and clean that up. And just a little bit of eyebrow work. And this is just me procrastinating to avoid putting the eyeballs in. And then, this is 24 times zoomed, so they don't look perfectly round. But when you look at them with your normal eyes, they don't look too bad. Put the old electrical tape around the arm as to denote the friendly status. So with that, just a couple of things to do to finish it off. A dull coat on both figures and then an oil wash just to give a little bit of depth into the crevices and shadow areas. And now it's time for the final reveal. So we'll just do the usual spin around on the magic spinning wheel for both figures, and then a few close-up shots for detail, and then I'll be back to say goodbye. Very happy with how these two boys came out. Perhaps not perfectly historically correct or accurate as far as uniform and equipment, but then maybe they are in the current circumstances. I don't know. Not going to politicise the whole thing. We all know it shouldn't be happening, and we're all standing strongly behind Ukraine, and hopefully it resolves itself very quickly. Anyway, from my perspective, thanks very much for watching, guys. I again apologise for the great delay in this video coming out. Can't promise you when the next one will come out or even what it will be. Still figuring out how to operate in the rental property. But when I can get something out, I certainly will. Certainly once the fixing up of the old house is completed, time will be back on my side, and we should be able to get a few things happening a little bit more regularly. So take care all. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.